welcome back. Last week, we talked about the hidden costs of your mental barriers, what they are actually costing you physically, psychologically, emotionally, and financially. That's right, living under the weight of other people's expectations and society's script is heavy. This week, we're talking about the weight of that resistance. Ever notice how exhausted you feel at the end of each day? Not just physically tired, but bone-deep weary. Here's what most people don't realize. That exhaustion isn't just from your to-do list. It's from carrying the weight of resistance, fighting against your authentic self to maintain an image, meet expectations, and follow society's script. I see this pattern constantly in my work, especially with executives and other business leaders. They come to me successful on paper, but feeling completely drained, wondering why having it all feels so heavy. Any of that sound familiar? So what exactly do I even mean by resistance? Think of resistance like swimming upstream. When you move against your natural flow, every action requires extra energy. Let me share a personal example. For years, I pushed myself to be the perfect corporate executive. I got in early, I left late, I worked on weekends when I could. I never said no. I even worked from a hospital bed as I was being wheeled into surgery. I ignored my body's signals and my heart's desires. The resistance was exhausting, but I thought that's just how life was supposed to feel. I was supposed to climb the corporate ladder. I was checking all of the corporate boxes. Promotion, check. Big office, check. The money, check. The title, check. Managing a team, check. But when I finally broke the cycle, life opened up and I felt a weight lift. Before I could get there, I had to feel the daily impact of my resistance. This resistance shows up in countless daily moments. Do any of the following sound familiar? In meetings where you have a different perspective, but stay quiet in order to maintain the harmony. During performance reviews where you give feedback that aligns with company culture rather than your true observations. In team dynamics where you adopt a leadership style that doesn't feel natural because it's expected. During project planning where you agree to unrealistic deadlines despite knowing better. Or in workplace relationships where you laugh at jokes that don't feel funny or participate in activities that drain you. Each of these moments creates a small tear in your energy fabric. While one instance might seem insignificant, the cumulative effect is profound, and together they create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your office walls. This constant resistance creates a domino effect. Monday morning anxiety begins on Sunday afternoon. Ever heard of the Sunday scaries? This is that feeling in the pit of your stomach that is already dreading the work week ahead. Or 2, simple decisions become exhausting because you're second-guessing your natural instincts. Or creative solutions feel blocked because you're filtering everything through what's expected. As a result, solving work problems can take exponentially longer, and the final solution may not even be that great. Or team dynamics suffer because your authentic leadership is buried under layers of shoulds. Or 5th, your home life gets your leftover energy because maintaining the workplace facade took everything. This could be getting short with your family because you're drained, or becoming a zombie in front of the TV to try and drown out all of the noise from work. And lastly, relationships become surface level because you're too exhausted for deep connection. This then leads to further disconnection in your relationships because you're simply too drained to maintain them in the first place. But here's what most people don't realize. These daily compromises of authenticity aren't just creating momentary discomfort. They're systematically draining your life force in ways that become increasingly difficult to recover from. Think of your life force like a battery. Every time you resist your authentic self, you're operating at a higher power consumption than necessary. This creates short-term impacts, such as by 10 a.m. you're already reaching for your second or maybe third cup of coffee. That 2 p.m. meeting feels impossible to focus through. Simple decisions at day's end become overwhelming. You're too drained for meaningful evening connections, and recovery takes longer than the activity itself. But here's where it gets really concerning, the long-term drain. Your baseline energy keeps lowering. Your resilience threshold diminishes. Your capacity for joy decreases. Your ability to access intuition weakens. Your creative spark dims and your sense of purpose fades. It's like running your phone with every app open, location services on, and screen brightness at maximum. Eventually, even a full charge doesn't last as long. And here's where the real tragedy unfolds. As your life force diminishes, it fundamentally alters how you show up in the world, and more importantly, what you believe is possible for your life. Over time, this resistance doesn't just drain you, it reshapes you. You might find your dreams become smaller to match your depleted energy. Your relationships stay surface level because depth requires energy that you just don't have. Your career choices become more conservative because innovation requires vitality. Your joy threshold lowers until not exhausted feels like good enough. Your authentic self becomes a distant memory rather than a present reality. There is good news. This isn't a life sentence. The moment you start releasing resistance, your natural life force begins to restore itself. Let me show you what's possible when you align with your authentic self instead of fighting it. When you're in flow with your authentic self, everything shifts. Decisions become clearer because you're trusting your intuition. Meetings are energizing because you're contributing authentically. Leadership feels natural because you're operating from your strengths. Creativity flows because you're not filtering through expectations. Relationships deepen because you're present and genuine. And energy sustains because you're not fighting yourself. This isn't about being perpetually happy. It's about feeling deeply alive and authentic in all your experiences. Now I know what you're thinking. This aligned state sounds wonderful, but how do you actually get there when you're deep in the habits of resistance? The path to alignment isn't about massive upheaval. It starts with small conscious choices that gradually rebuild your relationship with your authentic self. The solution isn't pushing harder. It's aligning with your truth. Here are a couple of things you can try. In your next meeting, share one authentic observation. When planning projects, voice your real timeline. Choose a leadership approach that feels natural to you. Set one boundary that honors your energy, or express appreciation in your own way and not the expected way. Remember, energy flows where attention goes. When you stop fighting yourself, that energy becomes available for creation, joy, and genuine connection. This natural state isn't just about feeling better. It's about reclaiming your full life force. When you're aligned, you're not just surviving on fumes, you're operating from a full tank. This week, I challenge you to notice one workplace situation where you're swimming upstream. What would happen if you brought your authentic self to that moment? This isn't about dramatic changes. It's about small moments of choosing alignment over resistance. Share one area where you're ready to release resistance in the comments below, and don't forget to join our community of conscious, authentic change makers.